All right, FightHype.com. Sean Zattel here with the WBA interim lightweight world champion, Mr. Rolly Romero. Was set to fight next Saturday on Showtime on the Charlo undisputed card, but then Austin Dulé pulls out. But great news, sounds like Anthony Yigit from Sweden, 24-1, fought for the IBF world title fight at super lightweight. Sounds like that's what we got now. How you feeling about all that, Rolly?
I mean, I really wanted to fuck Dulé up, you know? It's like, you know, it really takes you out of like, takes you out for a minute, you know, it's like, fuck. Man, I fucking put all my fucking effort and energy into this person, now you want to bitch out or whatever, you know? But, I mean, luckily, you know, I got a replacement, you know, so, I mean, that's where we're going to go now. Hopefully he doesn't pull out, he makes weight properly, whatever, all that stuff. And the fight happens.
Well, it turns out, on paper, this guy's a better fighter.
He is.
He's better record, fought better guys.
He's an Olympian, 24-1. He lost to, you know, a world champion. And
Ivan Branchek.
Yeah. Who? I mean, he just got fight. That was fight of the year. You know, like I mean, that
was a beta.
I can't really say anything, brother. He got balls, man. That was a good. It was a petted up. That was a really good fight. It was fight of the year, no?
Yeah. 2020 fight of the year, easy.
Yeah, it was a really good fight. So I mean, there's a great opportunity for me, and I'm happy for that one. You know, and it's on, like I said, the biggest Showtime card this year that isn't pay-per-view. Absolutely.
And how tough is that going to be, though, with Dulé, who's more of a puncher, and now you're fighting a guy from Sweden who's more of a boxer? Is that going to be tough for you, Rolly, to make the adjustment? What are the adjustments that have to be done?
Nothing really. Just one moves around a little bit more than the other one, but the other one punches a little bit harder. It's same shit, you know? It's the exact same shit.
Just that face you made when you initially...
Like, it's all the same shit, man. Look, I'm gonna tell you like this. I fought 3 southpaws. I have 6 knockdowns. All the fights ended in the first round. So that says enough.
You feel like that could you feel like that could happen next Saturday?
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on, you know, Gervonta Davis's move up to 140 where he won a title against Mario Barrios? What'd you think of that fight, Rolly?
I thought, I mean, he did what he was supposed to. He looked great, you know. Mm-hmm. He did something that's gonna be in the record books for a very long time, you know. That's gonna put him in the record books in the Hall of Fame, you know. Mm-hmm. So I mean, salutes to him, you know. But I mean, when we come back down 135, that's the fight I want.
Right.
I want Gervonta Davis. That's what I want.
Well, you know, Floyd after the fight talking about we're gonna keep things in-house.
Right. PBC. So it's a fight that can be made for sure. So hopefully that fight can happen at 135. Or you know what? Or even 140. I actually want that fight more at 140.
Why more at 140?
Because I like 140 better. You know, I want to win multiple belts in multiple divisions. You know, so 140 would be a great move too.
Do you feel like, again, you got almost half the fights that Gervonta has, that you need a couple more fights to be really prepared for that kind of fight?
I mean, at the end of it, I'm still a world level fighter. Mm-hmm. And I'm the hardest puncher in the world under 147 pounds, so nobody can say shit about it. You know, I can hurt him. Gervonta has power, he can crack. Another thing, I can't take that away from him. But like I said, I'm a harder puncher. I'm longer. I'm awkward, and well, like I said, it's like he's like this fucking tall. You know, so it's gonna be very interesting. I'm very explosive. Two very explosive fighters. I'm more explosive.
Do you feel like you need an impressive showing, a knockout next Saturday, to show people you would belong in that kind of fight? You know,
I'm gonna win the fight by a boring split decision.
But you know, what are your thoughts on the main event that night?
Well, that's what everybody likes now. That's what boxing is now. No, just a bunch of boring fucking fights, of fucking 3 punches around and fucking a lot of holding, right? That's what everybody likes. So that's what I'm gonna give them.
I sense some sarcasm in there, but
well, that's what everybody likes. That's what these people are paying for, apparently. No.
Well, skills pay the bills, don't they?
I don't know. Holding's a skill, but
Okay, but moving on to the main event that night, Charlo Castano. Who do you think wins that fight and why, Rolly?
I think Charlo. I think he's the better boxer out of the two, and he can crack. They both can crack. So, but I think Charlo's a better boxer. He's a boxer puncher. The other guy's more aggressive.
Pressure guy. Do you think that kind of style? It's tough to beat Charlo being more of a pressure fighter than trying to box him, or you think Castano has a chance to break him down and get to him?
I mean, he can break him down. I mean, we saw what happened with the other Charlo brother. It was a very hard fight, for him. That fight was honestly made a lot harder than what it needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Charlo kind of overworked. It looked like he was more overworked that fight than other fights. So I mean, it's just. I mean, you could say that fight's a pick'em fight, but I mean, I think Charlo, bro. I think Charlo just has more in his toolset for it.
You're a guy that's always about explosiveness. That's something you pride yourself on and look for in other fighters. Is Charlo one of the most explosive fighters in boxing to your eyes? Or
he is he's explosive. He can crack.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's gonna be a good fight. I think, like I said, I just think Charlo's just a better fighter.
Mm-hmm. If he wins, he becomes the first undisputed at 54. What do you think that means in boxing these days? What would that mean? Is that something you aspire to become one day too, undisputed? And what do you think that means as an accomplishment these days?
I mean, if I become undisputed, I become undisputed. If I don't become undisputed, it's kind of hard when people don't take fights with me,
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, I mean, Floyd was never undisputed, and look at me, he's the greatest fighter of all time.
He got to 3 belts.
He got to 3 belts.
Yeah, and got to 2 a couple of times as well.
Yeah,
So he unified.
I mean, I could unify belts, but
Right.
I mean, getting 4 belts, that's it's a lot more political than what it is, So maybe down the line, hopefully, but I doubt that'll happen, especially at 35,
Well, what about lineal then? Do you think that's more realistic that you can make happen, if not unifying and becoming undisputed, knocking off the top guy one day in the division? And
I mean, I could, like I said, I could do that. That's no problem. Like I said, it's just I need the opportunity. If I don't have the opportunity, it's not going to happen.
how hungry are you for those opportunities, Rolly?
I mean, I'm hungry for them, but I know it's all patience. Like I said, it's not. How do I say it? I'm not in no rush.
Mm-hmm.
I got my belt. Hopefully, like I said, I get another belt soon. I'm not in no rush. For anything. I'm already on the top dog list. So it's gonna happen when it's time.
Okay. In the meantime, do you feel like these fights are there to make you better?
Yeah, every fight makes you better. Whether if it's a hard fight or easy fight or whatever, they find a way to make it better because the fight may be, maybe easy or difficult in the first round or second round, but I mean, you still have that entire camp to become better.
What do you feel like is getting better right now, fight to fight? Seeing you spar, the IQ's going up.
Yeah. I'm just experimenting with a lot of different things, and I'm trying to create something more than what I already had,
Mm-hmm.
More my own unique stuff, It's kind of hard to explain. It's very hard to explain. I mean, you can ask what kind of fighter I am, and you'll get a million different fucking answers, One day you'll see me fucking box somebody's head off. One day you'll see me just fucking sit there and brawl with them. So one day you'll see me just fucking jump around the ring like a fucking frog. It all depends on what kind of fighter what kind of fighter is in front of me that day.
Well, I'm watching you spar today, and turn to one of your coaches. I go, the way he fights is kind of like who he is as a person, his personality. It's on the
Call
surface.
me bipolar, no.
On the surface, it's this wild, almost, what is he doing? Moving his head like that, doing the moves he's doing. But then it's effective. And isn't that kind of you as a person? Is at first you meet him, the lisp, the wild attitude, but beneath all that, there's a method to the madness. Do you feel like the way you fight is kind of similar to who you are as a person, or is that a little too deep?
Well, I'm an awkward person.
Right.
I'm an awkward person. I'm an awkward person, you know. Like I said, you never know what you're gonna get. You ask a million different people about me, get a million different answers. Same thing about you ask a million different people about my boxing ability, they'll get a million. One person say I fucking can't box for shit, and then they'll fucking see me box like fuck. You want people say I can't punch, and then they'll fucking see me. Well, actually, I've never really heard that one, but you know, but you know what I mean. Oh, motherfucker has no leg movement. I know where I'm fucking moving all around the ring, fucking jumping around, you know. So it's like I said, it all depends on what's in front of me that day.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be able to adapt to what's in front of you.
Is that something Floyd's talked about you with, or just something you realized on your own?
Nah, something I've always knew. You know, fucking in anything, even in life, in anything. You know, like we'll give you example, stocks, right? Everything's going down. You start fucking doing fucking puts and shit. You know. You gotta, you know, you make so much money in one type of company. Like for instance, I'll give you an example. You know, carpets. Carpets used to be the biggest industry back then. And then, you know, nobody wanted like normal flooring, you know,
right?
Tile or any of that stuff. That was trash back then. Mm-hmm. Now everybody wants tile and
hardwood.
Hardwood. Mm-hmm. You gotta learn to adapt to what's in front of you, and it goes to every single industry, including boxing.
When you talk about stocks, you gotta
You gotta be able to adapt. You know, you gotta be able to adapt to, like I said, anything. You know, the market and nothing lasts forever. Nothing. You know, so you have to move with what it is. So that's why boxing. I mean, even as boxing is like from like the old days, evolutionized to what the fuck it is now. You know, it's not the same.
Some things got better, some things got worse.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that? Or?
Yeah. But it moved with the time, you know. And as long as you stay open-minded to whatever, you know, opportunities open up in front of you, you know, and you're able to adapt to it, you'll always be on top of the world.